Last time on the Great Ace Attorney.
I hereby pronounce you not guilty.
Yay! We finally finished
Now,
the case.
Mr. Natsume.
Oh, they have confetti.
I beheld the blinding fireworks among the beams of the Bailey's roof. I bellowed.
The court's on fire!
This court is on fire!
It's you, Sherlock Sholmes. Oh, have we met, sir?
This is Mr. Natsume, the man you had arrested, Mr. Sholmes.
Ah, I see. I failed to recognize you at first, and now I remember you fully, Mr. Yes, you there.
Natsume.
Yes, Mr. Natsume, indeed. Yes, I remember you quite clearly. I've learned so much about the wealth of literature here, and I've come to realize that it is my calling to sail home and tell my fellow countrymen about it. Or, in perhaps less veiled terms, he's chickening out and he's buggering off home.
And so, with Soseki-san's innocence successfully established, we rode with Mr. Sholmes to what was to become our new home, 221B Baker Street.
Sarah's bouncing.
Fangirling a little bit.
Just like, you could be in charge of the salad, equips gun.
Go to blast it with this. This is how you cook salad, right?
Or maybe it's her kitchen gun.
Look how it cleans this greasy
Oh my
arm.
God.
Goodbye, sir.
It would indeed be a fine day to die.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or perhaps good day, good morning, or whatever, and welcome to another episode of Disillusion Plays, where we play the games and do the voices. Today we're going to be playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles with Mr. Sholmes and little Iris and everyone else.
Oh, Hurley, what are you up to now?
Oh yeah, I forgot that his voice is supposed to be like,
Yes, you're supposed to be
Mr.
very
Sholmes.
depressed right now.
Who are you talking to, Mr. Sholmes? I think he's finally lost it, Mr. Zato.
I think he has.
Nobody. But before we get started,
I'm Pete.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Taylor.
Yes. And
I
before
had to really think that. I forgot my own name.
I'm sorry, Sarah.
I'm cracking up now.
I remember the one time where it was like, Pete was like, I'm Sarah, then Sarah confusedly said, I'm Pete. And then I just went, and I'm confused.
Yes, I remember that one.
Anyway, just before we get started, if you like our silly banter, why don't you hit that like button, drop a comment down below, hit the subscribe button, and ring the bell. And now, let's get to it!
And if you're still
And back
with us...
to the dog.
Oh,
What the frick? Somebody say something.
go on, Taylor.
We're going back to the doggo of the Mandervilles.
Doggo of the Vanderbilts. It's a bloody big dog.
Yikes.
It might be a Pomeranian, a hellhound, as it were.
Well, I mean, that's which you wouldn't know
Some
unless you
things-
check out Danganronpa 2 later this week.
In the future, which I did remember. Something's missing from Mr. Sholmes' desk.
I've no idea what though, guys.
No, not a clue.
Yeah.
Not a clue.
Oh dear.
Is it his? Is it?
Should we
Is
just?
it his desire to live?
Should we just move on to the something else? No,
Oh,
I guess we.
no, we can't leave him like that.
I guess we. Wait, what does it say?
I like that Susato.
Yeah.
Susato even says, "Are you sure we?"
I'm not leaving until I've spoken to Mr. Sholmes.
I must cheer him up. Don't worry, I'll give
What?
I'll give Mr. Naruhodo a Susato takedown. Surely that'll make you feel better, Mr. Sholmes.
Wanting to die.
Jesus.
You seem to be very unhappy this morning, Mr. Sholmes. What's happened?
it used to be the case that in my hands, this violin sung like the dawn chorus. Its mellissonant tones would make flowers bloom.
It would?
But now, the muses are unamused with me. The goddesses of music have thrown me over.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
For hours I have bowed, for days even. Through the night I have endeavored to no avail.
Thank goodness we're in the attic, Mr. Zato. I don't think I could have slept with that sound.
Thank you for my
Mr. Zato,
earplugs.
I did believe that I heard a dying cat this past week. I suppose it must have been the violin.
Yes, I've noted. Like I said, obviously we saw the cat earlier, so it seems to be fine.
We suspected Wagahai? Was it
Wagahai?
Wagahai,
Yes, yeah.
But he seems to be in fine fettle this morning.
That sound, my tone, is lost. That brilliant, clear, unwavering... Oh my goodness!
Jesus!
Unwavering tone gone forever! Unwavering tone gone forever! No more recitals of unbridled emotion!
Well, you haven't been practicing much lately, have you, Hurley?
Oh, away with you, witch.
Don't worry.
Rude.
I'm sure it will come... I mean, don't worry. I'm sure it will come back to you in time. I mean, it's like riding a penny farthing. You never forget.
Heed
Supposedly.
my words, Mr. Naruhodo. The goddesses of the arts are fickle. One
Sarah,
day,
slowly nodding in the background.
one day they bestow genius on a man. The next, they unmercifully withdraw it.
Oh, dear. Mr. Zato, did you hear that outside?
Why is this happening to me?
If they take the turn I have for the violin from me, what is left, for pity's sake? What is left?
I think he's finally lost it.
Deduction, perhaps? Isn't that what you're known for? Oh, wait, he's not very good at that.
Just let me just reverse that and pretend I didn't say anything.
Mr. Naruhodo, do not be so rude.
I'm just going to go upstairs.
Mr. Sholmes, I don't like to pry, but your desk looks rather empty today.
Ah, well done, Mr. Sato, for your observational skills do you credit.
Oh, no, Mr. Sholmes. They pale into insignificance when compared to yours.
Well, I wouldn't say... You'd struggle not to notice, wouldn't you?
You mean Hurley's great analytic scope?
Analytoscope.
Is that what... Yeah.
Analytoscope.
Analytoscope.
Analytoscope. That's at Windybanks now.
Windybanks.
Yes, as opposed to breezy shores. Sorry, it's at a windy bank?
No, Windybanks, the pawnbrokery.
Oh no.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
What?
You mean you've pawned that enormous machine of yours?
It has some considerable value, you see. Quite undeservingly.
But isn't it a very important machine for your work?
Well, I mean, it allows me to
Oh,
read...
Susato's about on the verge of
She's
tears.
so upset.
It does allow me to read extremely small print. But other than that, I mean, I only use it every odd day. Maybe once a month. Twice a year.
I do wish you had consulted us if your situation had become so desperate.
Mr. Susato, it's not as if we're in a position to... No,
I should
Mr.
have
Susato,
gladly
we don't
passed
really...
what little income I have to you.
Excuse me, please.
Dear madam, things are far from desperate.
But the pawnbroker has your wonderful machine. How can it be anything but desperate?
Oh, I'll get it back when the time calls. Making use of a pawnbrokery is quite ordinary here in London. I assure you.
It is? Oh, it is? It doesn't sound ordinary at all.
It would seem that neither of you fully understand how pawnbroking works.
Oh! What's to understand exactly?
It's so sad. We're gonna lose we're gonna lose half our subscribers just because of this.
Oh.
What did you mean when you said we didn't fully understand how pawnbroking works? I mean, it seems relatively straightforward. You give an unscrupulous person a belonging of yours, and then you either scrape together enough money to purchase it back, or they sell it to somebody else.
To the people of London, pawnbrokeries are akin to banks.
Banks?
On Mondays, merchants relinquish their finest jackets and trappings to their pawnbroker of choice. With the money they receive in return, they are able to trade happily through the week.
And then on Saturdays, they go to recover their things using the money they've earned.
Oh, look, there she goes, stealing my next breath from me.
Oh, for goodness sake, Hurley, will you go and take that sulky face of yours and take it out of this room? I am sick of seeing it this morning.
Well, that told me.
Quite frankly, Hurley, you're acting like a mere child.
I guess I'll go play my nails on a chalkboard violin somewhere else.
No, Mr. Sholmes, please don't. I had no idea. This has been a
Mr. Sholmes, I'm afraid that you're going to have to put the violin away. We've received about 15 noise complaints this past week. And about 24 animal cruelty complaints besides. I'm not sure which it is, but in either case, it's not good.
Animal cruelty. It's like, wait a second.
Because it sounds like a
Yeah,
cat.
it sounds like a dying cat. Yeah.
I had no idea. This has been a fascinating lesson for us. Everyone does it, you see, especially people in inner London.
Yeah, can you confirm the truth of that for us, Pete and Sarah?
Well, I would tell you, but we don't live in inner London.
I can say, yeah, as people from nowhere near London, we hail in one...
Wait, I thought London was just the entirety of the United Kingdom.
We hail in one of the other various districts of the country that aren't part of London.
Outer London.
Yes, we are in the outskirts of London, known as Yorkshire, which is just around the corner from Buckingham Palace.
Yeah, we just pop in to see the Queen every now and again, just to say hello, have a cup of tea.
That's it. We're good friends, really.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And should they have any money to spare, they would purchase another fine jacket. Not to wear, obviously, but to pawn should the need arise.
Oh, how ingenious.
Wouldn't it simply make more sense to just, put the money in a storage place that you could then retrieve it from to purchase goods instead of doing that?
So, whenever we have something that's getting in the way, we leave it at Windybanks, you see?
Oh, so we should leave Mr. Sholmes at Windybanks.
I heard that. A pawnbrokery can be thought of as an extremely secure vault.
Who would have thought that even pawnbrokers are different here in Great Britain?
Of course.
I sure do hope that there's not some kind of crime that occurs at a pawnbroker that would then require us to tap into this knowledge that we only just recently gained.
Of course, you have to watch Hurley with it. Sometimes he pawns things he really shouldn't.
Like his brain.
Don't you, Hurley?
Pain in the...
Stop chuntering under your breath, Hurley. It's very rude.
What does it matter? The world is dead to me now.
Oh, God.
Ugh.
Well, I think we've heard enough.
No, have we asked everything we need to... Do we have to show him something? No. We have asked...
Examine?
I guess we might need to examine something. Oh, Iris.
Oh.
Let's examine Iris.
Wagahai.
Wait, what? Okay.
Mr. Natsume's cat seems to have settled into his new home then.
Oh, yes! And I've become very attached to little Waggy.
Waggy.
It would appear his previous owner is completely forgotten to him. I'm not exactly very keen on the curse that's accompanied his presence in the household.
Well, aren't you a little ray of sunshine?
Personally, I like to breathe when I'm asleep. Cats are unfeeling creatures. Their mews as empty as the hearts of the muses.
Oh. If Mr. Natsume had no intention of taking Waggy back to Japan, I wonder why he kept him in the first place.
I expect he would have taken him if he could. But pets are strictly forbidden aboard steamships in our experience.
Yes, and they kill your best friend as well.
Oh boy.
Not that I'm bitter or anything.
It's like, ha 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 ha! Not actually funny at all. It's just pain.
Too soon, Sarah, too soon.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kazuma. Please forgive me. For good reason. Terrible things can happen if the rules of passage are not obeyed. Well, I don't mind, because Waggy is adorable.
Especially when I hold him like this.
I'm strangling him, really.
Oh, there we go.
No. Yes, he really is. Oh, yes, what about the door? I don't remember seeing that tiny thing in the main door before. Where did that come
Next,
from?
she's going to have invented it. It's like, it's just a little invention I call a cat flap.
I guess so. Could be. Oh, you noticed? You are observant, Bruno. Look! I used this! It's my latest invention!
What?
It's the cat flap maker!
I was gonna say, it's the square cutter. To just shoot a square hole in the door. It's like,
What is that?
I call it the cat flapper mat!
Oh, for God's sake.
it's extremely specific.
Gosh! A machine for making doors? Just for cats? That's right! I can make a cat flap for a little fairy friend like Waggy in seconds!
Yikes.
And it can do it. It can.
You can do it, Sarah.
And it can do it at any door at all, no matter what it's made of. It's very powerful, you see. Wouldn't it have been quick?
Wouldn't it?
Sorry.
Wouldn't it have been quicker just to make the cat flap rather than making a machine to make the cat flap?
Oh no, it took me about 20 seconds to make this.
Oh.
Well, yes, maybe. But now I can make cat flaps wherever I like. Oh, I think.
Why does the garrison have about 500 square holes on the side?
All around the whole building.
Oh, I think it's wonderful. You must make one in the door of our office upstairs, Iris.
Oh no.
She really knows how to come up with the...
It's catching.
She really knows how to come up with unconventional inventions.
I can read
this
your
girl.
thoughts, you know.
Okay, have we now... Oh no!
Oh,
Did someone trip over the cat
somebody
and bang their
stood
head
on
on
the cat's
something?
tail. Oh, what was that?
You gotta be careful, somebody died that way.
Oh,
Wagga high?
oh dear.
Oh
dear.
This isn't gonna be good. What was that?
Oh no! Wagga High's tangled up in your violin! I think he thinks it's a toy.
No! What's he doing to it?
Oh dear. Mr. Sholmes' precious violin.
It was a mercy killing, really.
Why should I care?
What?
I shouldn't be surprised. If the cat is a more accomplished musician than I now.
Oh dear.
I hope he's not going to be like that for too long.
No.
Really. God.
Mr. Sholmes really is in poor spirits, isn't he?
Yep.
Oh, do you think
gonna
so?
say-
I hadn't really noticed.
you noticed?
Well, anyway, I'll put it back where it lives, shall I, Hurley?
out of the cat's reach, if possible. Maybe we should assess the damage.
Okay, I guess go back over the other side.
Examine
The
I
violin.
mean, it
violin.
looks perfectly fine.
It
from
does
there.
look perfectly fine. Oh no.
Well, maybe there's a shard of metal embedded in it somewhere. So this is the violin, is it?
It's a
Jeez.
Stradivarius. One of the finest violins in the world. Made by the renowned Italian luthier Antonio Stradivari.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it doesn't really look like anything special to me.
It's a good job I can't hear your thoughts. I happened upon it covered in dust, languishing in a pawn shop down a nondescript back alley. The broker had no idea of its value, so I was able to purchase it for a mere 55 shillings.
How honorable of you.
And until today, it has been my faithful companion in every great Paganini-inspired performance I have made. I ask you...
That's a sandwich, isn't
I
it?
ask you, is there reason to live in a world devoid of music? To tolerate this blanched existence? No. There is none.
Mr. Sholmes?
What, dear madam? What? My thoughts are preoccupied with fancies of release from this dull routine.
Well, it's about the violin. It looks very different to normal, don't you think?
I mean, which one? The one in the background or the one in the sprite that popped up? Because they look totally like they look like totally different violins. Excuse me. Speak up. Yes. What?
What do you mean, Miss Susato?
Oh, Susie's right!
Why is the suspicious strings coming in? Like, what's going on?
I don't know. Yes! The tone of the wood is completely different! And that's not all. I'm sure there was no crack here before.
Wait! It's not even the right size, is it?
What's this?
Wait, are you on?
Really,
you're not,
Susato?
you're not saying that. Wait.
A book of
And so
illustrated instruments.
I just love the idea that like Hurley, Shirley.
Hurley Shirley.
Surely.
I love the idea that Herlock has been playing this whole time, and it didn't occur to him that the violin was the wrong violin, like not tuned, and just basically like screwed.
He's playing a cello.
And he's just,
on his
just
arm,
like,
on his shoulder.
It is quite big to get under my chin, but I do my best.
This violin weighs heavier than the weight of my own sorrows. Mr. Sholmes, it appears to be a cello. No, it's an allegory.
I think I would know if I was holding a cello under my chin. Renosuke.
That would be patently ridiculous for me to try to play a cello like a violin. Do you think I'm that stupid?
I mean, the spike on the bottom's been poking in my neck all day, but I didn't think anything of it.
I just thought it was one of Miss Iris's inventions.
Well, perhaps it was the dull reminder of the pain that life brings with every passing day.
I'm terribly sorry to have to tell you this, Mr. Sholmes, but that instrument, it isn't a violin
It's
at
a
all.
viola.
It's a piano.
Piano?
Then what?
I believe it's an entirely different instrument called a viola.
What?
What?
He phased through the floor. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, are you all right?
You're right. You are quite right.
Oh, so he'll have not been careful when he was pawning his stuff, and he pawned off his
violin.
Stradivarius and then got the viola instead.
Right.
And then he'll try and buy it back, and somebody will realise that it's a really expensive one, and he'll not get it back for cheap.
This isn't my faithful Stradivarius. So what? pray, is this piece of stringed flotsam?
Not your faithful performing partner, then?
I see what must have happened.
You do, Iris?
This is just a simple mix-up.
It sounds like Iris might be able to tell us exactly what's happened if we ask her. Rather than the dialogue just continuing on, we're going to have to select her standing there.
Yeah, because it's weird, right? Because, you go converse and it's not here, so we have to go into examine,
And then
click
she's
on
there.
her, and then the dialogue options come up, which is really weird.
What did you mean by a mix-up, Iris?
Well, you see, this viola, I mean, was at Windybanks until last week. At the pawnbroker's?
Not Mr. Sholmes' beloved musical partner?
There is a proverb from the East, with which you are no doubt familiar, my dear fellows. Always let a beloved child travel.
What?
Yes, indeed.
So, you sent your beloved violin to the pawnbrokers in the hope that it would experience personal growth?
Oh, what a wonderful idea.
I don't know about wonderful, Miss Susato. It sounds a little bit stupid.
Stupid.
Last week, I pawned my great analytoscope in order to release my precious instrument. But it would appear Mr. Windybank mistakenly furnished me with this tawdry fiddle instead. But my ears cannot be deceived by the hollow timbre of this piece of timber.
No, but your every sense was deceived by the fact that it just had strings.
Fine. A fine state of affairs this is. And why I always say, Mr. Naruhodo, never trust a pawnbroker. They will try to fiddle you every time. They played us like a damn fiddle!
Played us like a goddamn fiddle!
But earlier you told us you could think of a pawnbroker as a extremely secure vault.
Well, actually, I believe it was it Iris who said that, or was it Sholmes? I can't remember now.
It was
Okay, yep, it was the doof. The doofus. Well, I'm now standing up straight. Come, Mr. Naruhodo. Dilly-dallying will get you nowhere.
And neither will shilly-shallying. Sorry?
Crunching your toast with that vacant aspect, fressing your coffee so obtusely.
What?
Are you not a little embarrassed by your own conduct, considering the urgency with which we are faced?
Excuse me.
Sarah, what does fressing mean?
Fressing?
I guess just like messing about.
Messing about?
I guess. Fretting. Fiddling.
Pressing maybe slow messing. I guess it's kind of some like messing about. I don't know. I've not heard that one before actually, but
Have you tried Google?
hang on.
Not now, guys.
Oh.
We're recording the video. If you know what fressing means, why don't you leave a comment down below?
We must visit Mr. Windybank's brokery at once. That's right. Isn't it, Mr. Sholmes?
Precisely, Miss Susato. Without a moment's delay.
Oh, I'm so glad I could
I
appease
mean,
you.
this doesn't really seem as if something that I really need to be involved in. I would much rather sit here and have my toast. But I haven't finished my bacon and eggs.
My dear fellow, surely you do not still intend to crunch your bacon with an increasingly vacant aspect, to fress your egg ever more obtusely, while
I feel as though you've said that just not too long ago. All right, say no more. Let's go then.
Don't worry, Bruno. I'd be happy to eat.
Wait a second, what?
Don't worry, Bruno.
Miss Iris, no, don't eat up my bacon and eggs.
He just eats the leftovers. She eats everyone's leftovers. It's actually really gross. Don't worry about this. It's not going to go to waste. You're right, sir. You don't look very happy. She's turned into a sheep.
I would swear at you, but I can't swear in this one.
Fiddlesticks.
Yes. Fiddlesticks off. Don't worry, Bruno. I'd be happy to heat it up for you again later.
I like to imagine that she hasn't invented a microwave, but instead what she's invented is one gun that heats up eggs and one gun that heats up bacon.
Specifically. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh, thank you, Iris.
Just like engraved a piece of bacon onto the side of the gun, like a little sort of detailed drawing. And the same.
And if you use the egg gun on the bacon gun, it turns it into a monster.
Oh god.
As it happens, I am rather curious to see what a British pawnbroker looks like.
I now have the meaning of fressing, but...
For God's sake. Right then, team. It's time to make a move. Do we go to Baker Street, or do we go to Windybanks Pawnbrokery?
I mean, I guess he's wanting to go back and get his violin, so...
Alright, well, I guess we can go to Baker Street in a moment then, shall we?
Yeah.
Who's gonna be Windybank?
That's a good question. Let's see what he looks like.
We'll see what they
look like. Windybanks Pawn.
Oh no, he's got Funko Pops
He has?
The soulless dolls.
with the dead, vacant eyes.
Oh, what, in the doorway? there?
Yeah. He's got the... He's got the thinker! He's got the thinker statue!
Yeah, he has.
Oh, so he does, yeah.
Throwbacks!
Yes.
So, this is a British pawnbrokery.
Oh my! There are all sorts of tools and contraptions in here that I've never laid eyes on before.
Ah, Susato-san, and that spark of wonder in your eyes. You can't wait to scour the shelves, can you? Susato, give me the wallet.
What do you mean, Mr. Naruhodo? You left it at home.
So, you entrusted it to me for safekeeping, and I intend to keep it that way.
I get the impression you enjoy places like this.
Oh, yes! I don't know why, but seeing such a lot of things I don't understand is a real thrill for me.
Look at this stuff.
Isn't
it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete?
Oh, my dear fellows.
Gadgets and gizmos aplenty.
Let's not forget why we are here. Everybody, including you. And he looks straight at the camera.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes.
We are calling on matters of business, not pleasure.
Don't you raise your hand to me. I will give you a Sasato takedown, no matter if you are Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
I don't know why he's like always doing that boxing animation.
I don't
it's really
know.
Weird. And he is outright punching her in the face. like
you, sir.
And clearly, Mr. Sholmes. Oh wow,
yeah,
he
he's
really
boxing her in the ears.
Jesus.
Bop.
Bump.
And clearly, Mr. Sholmes means business too, judging from the spark of fury in his eyes.
The fact that he's...
Nope.
Oh.
So, who's going for it?
Ah, Mr. Sholmes, sir. Welcome back.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. Well, it does the trick. Ah, did you hear that brazen welcome?
Well, yes, we are potential customers after all.
We are disgruntled customers, Mr. Naruhodo. And it's time to inform Mr. Windybank of our ire.
Actually, I heard
Come.
you from over there.
The fight is afoot.
Oh, dear.
Fight?
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Naturally, you will recall this, which I retrieved from you some days ago.
Yes?
Oh, very good, yes. This second-rate fiddle is not my faithful instrument, Mr. Windybank. The colour of the wood is different, it has holes in it, and it's not even the same size.
Well, that's where the sound comes out of, isn't it, Mr. Sholmes? If it didn't have any holes in it, how would the sound come out?
A wonderful summary of of our observations, Mr. Sholmes.
I'm so very sorry, sir. How utterly unforgivable of me. An inexcusable mistake for a pawnbroker. There was only one way to make
And
amends.
then he pulls out a katana.
Oh, God!
I must commit seppuku.
No, don't do that!
Oh, no.
Oh!
Whoa!
Oh, Jesus!
Oh, for God's sake, what?
I mean, I was joking.
Jesus Christ!
I was joking about suffocating. I mean, this is a bit different, but...
Whoa!
Wow.
Jesus!
Okay.
I shall have to take my own life.
Oh, no, don't!
I wonder if you have the balls.
Mr. Sholmes, do stop him, please!
Don't think that'll be necessary, do you?
If I may just say one thing before I pop off.
Yes?
It was you, sir, Mr. Sholmes, who took it upon himself to remove the item the other day, I believe.
Sorry?
As I recall, I entered the storeroom to fetch your violin when I heard, here it is!
You did?
And when I turned to controvert you... And when I had turned to controvert you, you had taken the viola and left, sir. However, there can be no doubt that the blame lies firmly at my own door for allowing you to leave. So I shall not grumble or grouse any longer. May this guilt die with me!
No, stop, my dear fellow. The fault is mine.
I don't think you're going to do very much helping him fainting on the floor, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, God.
Phew.
It would appear that the fight is over.
Miss Susato, do you suppose every pawnbrokery is like this?
I do humbly apologize, Mr. Windybank. Evidently, my questionable disposition precipitated this tragedy.
Well, you wouldn't be Mr. Herlock Sholmes without that questionable disposition, now, would you?
I believe you may be right, sir.
Oh, for God's sake!
It's either laugh or cry, I suppose. You are, as it must be said, one of my more challenging customers.
Oh, is that so?
I'll take that as a compliment.
I needn't remind you of the peculiar collection of items you brought to my door in the past.
Oh, peculiar items?
Oh, yes, a shrunken head, a couple of different jewels. I believe there was even a monkey's paw the one time.
Oh, God.
Items that are very difficult to shift, you see. Very difficult to pass on.
In the extreme, ma'am. For example, the unpublished manuscript of an eponymous work, the novels of Herlock Sholmes or some such.
Oh, my! A new full-fledged novel? And unpublished? A story I have yet to read, you mean?
Forgive me!
Wait, before you die!
Jesus!
Before you die! Susato! Stop him, for goodness sake! Jesus! Wait, before you die, you must tell me more.
Before you die.
I know. I must know more. Tell me everything.
You'll never take me alive?
But you're right there.
Wow. Wow, Susato-san is really fired up now, and I feel as though she is focusing on the wrong thing entirely.
Is there really an unpublished story under this very roof?
Well, one day the gentleman here brought in an old metal chest, you see.
I should like to entrust this to your care for a while, Mr. Windybank.
For a chest like that, 1 shilling, sir. Not a farthing more.
Ours is something of very great value indeed. The latest manuscript, recounting the adventures of one Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
I beg your pardon? A manuscript? You wish to deposit a manuscript?
Indeed I do. for I am confident it'll be quite safe here. And so I gave him half a shilling.
And that was that.
And now I've lost it.
As such, Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom. Mr. Sholmes, is that really true?
This pipe is...
No, I was lying about anything being in the chest. I just wanted more than 1 shilling.
This pipe is very nice, isn't it?
Do I sense that someone doesn't want to talk about this?
I continue to pay your fee, do I not? Then kindly continue to store my belongings securely.
Of course, sir, of course. They're safe and sound with me, I assure you, on
So
my
no,
life.
I don't think they're safe and sound, guys.
Yeah.
He seems to be very unstable.
This is all very strange.
Yep. Agreed.
Yes, yes it is. I wonder, could I ask you something perhaps without you pointing the gun at your head? For 2 seconds. Ah, a gentleman from the East, I see. Yes, that sable suit. I suppose I could offer you 6 pence for it. Without wishing to offend, the tone is somewhat dull. Sorry?
Sorry!
Aha! But for your splendid attire, ma'am, 5 guineas, no less.
Jeez.
The colours are exquisite, the design exotic, Eastern artistry at its finest, may I say.
I'd love to have a chance to wear it myself.
Would you mind taking it off now?
No!
Oh my! 5 guineas, you say?
I have only the finest rags that you could wear.
How interesting.
Oh no. Why do I feel as though I suffered some sort of defeat here? Actually, I was hoping to ask you about your business. I've heard it said that pawnbrokeries are used rather like banks here in London. Yes, sir, indeed. Many of my customers utilize the establishment as you describe. I appraise their items and offer them a proportionate loan in 2 months of secure stowage.
Stowage.
Stowage!
Storage.
He's not saying
Stowage.
storage, he's saying stowage. He stows the items.
Stows.
I thought it was like stowage. Secure stowage!
No. He's clearly not a child.
Secure
Of
storage.
secure
For God's sake. Now who's the child?
stowage.
Because
I appraise their items.
I have ways.
If in that time they repay the original sum to me, plus the agreed interest, their items are happily returned.
But what happens if they don't pay you the money?
I break their kneecaps.
Oh dear.
And then the items are offered for sale in my shop, as you can see on the shelves behind me.
So you never sell items before the 2 months has passed then?
That's right, ma'am, that's right. Which means some considerable responsibility rests on my shoulders. Should a customer's precious belongings be lost, the only recompense is for me to end it all.
Good grief.
The very idea, Mr. Windybank, is an absurdity. One should never talk of one's demise so casually.
Says the man who was telling us all it was a good day to die only this morning.
Excuse me, would you mind just shutting up? Thank you.
Your thoughts are too
I
loud.
can hear you over here. And let us not forget that I have already helped you take measures to ensure such a tragedy never occurs.
Oh, what sort of
I may have
measures?
provided him with several firearms, some kind of explosives, and similar inventions of dear Iris. I engineered a simple device which Mr. Windybank has installed here in his shop. I call it the Red-Handed Recorder.
Oh, aye.
Oh, I'm sure that will positively not become a piece of evidence later on.
Is that not so, Mr. Windybank?
What was that deep sigh about?
dear.
I have a feeling it's going to unlock... Ah, yes, there it is.
Mr. Rianowski, what are you talking about? Well, Mr. Naruhodo.
What on earth is a red-handed recorder?
Use your eyes, my dear fellow. There are two just below the ceiling.
There it. Am I blind? Where?
I think they're probably not actually in the
I'm
picture.
gonna say, yeah. Oh, sorry, it's me. I didn't realize.
It's like, Sasato.
I can see what appears to be a camera attached to some sort of timing device.
Very astute. It is indeed a camera, furnished with some 100 pieces of celluloid film. And every 30 minutes precisely, the camera automatically records the appearance of the shop.
Here, I have an example I can show you.
I'm surprised you didn't say example. Ah,
Example?
yeah. Well, I'm just because you like going examen. Yes, a print from the cameras.
Oh, look at the
I
doggo.
know, he's
And
so
it's in
cute.
the photographs in...
Is that the hound? Is that the hound of the Baskervilles?
I think you mean the bound of the Haskervilles, Taylor.
The
Gosh.
Baskervilles.
But there's also a picture of a cat on the
yes,
bottom
so there is.
And the picture's in colour. I wonder where it's been developed from. Yes, a print from the camera said to record the activity at the shop counter. Now, I developed a special type of film so sensitive it produces a crystal clear image, even in darkness,
Oh, aye.
which I suppose is probably going to be relevant later.
The only problem is, of course, that because it's so sensitive, when it goes off during the day, it's basically just a white frame. You can't see a bloody thing inside the picture itself. Really? That's extraordinarily unbelievable.
Yes, you can clearly see the counter and the door behind it. Look.
So you see, were someone to enter the premises with ill intent, his identity would be summarily exposed. Unless, however, whatever they took, it took them less than 30 minutes to do so.
But did you not say that the photographic prints were taken at 30-minute intervals?
There we go. Indeed, as you say, my dear madam. However, I have also installed a device in the shop that makes it so that you can only open the door once every 30 minutes. So they would indeed be trapped in the shop, and so we would get some sort of photographic evidence of them.
Then, what if the incident were to occur in between times?
Inconceivable, my dear. One could only say that would be a cruel twist of fate.
I must confess your devices have been giving me some cause for distress of late.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Windybank. Surely they are anything but distressing. Reassuring is the word.
It's the cost of the film, sir. You most graciously placed not one, but 2 cameras in my shop, after all. Which means I must pay for nigh on 100 utterly useless prints every single day. I'm afraid the cost of the film will break me before I'm very much older. Where's that gun?
Oh, God.
Nevertheless, a small price to pay to ensure the safety of my preferred pawnbrokery. No? My dear fellows, we verge on an age where safety and security come at a price.
Oh, heaven help us. Now then, Mr. Sholmes, allow me to return your precious
Well, it's
violin.
definitely a different colour,
Yeah,
isn't it?
definitely, yeah.
Ah, the very thing. Thank you, Mr. Windybank. Oh, it's Mr. Natsumi.
Perhaps this might mark the end of the peculiar items you tried to pop. Because if anything were to happen to one of them, this would be the only answer!
Please put the gun down.
I really think you ought to stop waving that gun around. Someone could get hurt. Fear not!
It's not loaded.
Sorry?
It's got an extremely short-range projectile. It will only kill me. No one else is in danger. It's completely fine. Ah,
Oh, God.
I've only loaded a single bullet, so no.
basically, yep.
I've only loaded a single bullet, so no one but myself could possibly be harmed. That's not really what I meant.
Are we going to come back and find he's been shot
I suspect
in the
so.
30-minute interval that the camera didn't pick up?
Oh, Sarah, I think you've rumbled
Sarah,
it.
you've like spoiled the whole case.
Yeah,
sorry.
you've rumbled it. Good day to you then, Mr. Windybank. Hopefully you can manage to not shoot yourself between our next encounter.
It's been a pleasure as always, Mr. Sholmes.
God.
So, Mr. Naruhodo, now we can explore at last.
Yeah, we can have a look at Baker Street, I guess. Unless you look at the shop. Should we
I
look at
think
the shop?
she's wanting to look around the shop.
She's
isn't
wanting
she?
to look around. Fine. What should we look at? Probably not him.
No, we've spoken to him.
I guess the Thinker, right?
Hello.
We should look at the Thinker.
Yeah, let me see if it's got, yeah.
Has it got a little reference?
There appears to be a strange clock attached to it.
What an assortment of things there are on these shelves here. Crockery, footwear, clocks and watches. Almost anything you care to imagine.
Those are forfeited items, offered to sale by the pawnbroker.
What does that really mean?
It means
though?
that certain people couldn't keep up with their payments, and so he's selling their shit. Oopsie. When you pawn, or colloquially pop an item, the broker loans you money against its worth. He stores the item for an agreed period of time, after which the loan must be repaid. If not,
I did explain this, if you'll recall, not too long ago, in
if
fact.
not, he is free to display it in his shop for sale, at a price of his choosing.
Oh, yes, now you've explained it, I'm noticing little price tags on everything.
Of course, simply by paying the agreed interest on the loan, one can extend the period of safekeeping. So you may pawn that black garb of yours without fear, my dear fellow.
My treasured university uniform? Never! It embodies my student spirit.
Oh, no,
And my
no
musk,
reference.
because I haven't washed it for a good while.
My musk. my Asian musk. I don't know. Oh, why is it?
Oh.
Okay.
That's not a calendar you could easily miss, is it? 15th April. Today's date. Yes, that's not for sale, I must point out. It is an Eastern-style pay-to-day calendar. Every night at midnight, I tear off the front page to reveal the following day's date. Oh, yes, I'm sure that won't be relevant either.
The perfect calendar for a tearaway fellow such as yourself, Mr. Windybank.
It'll be that the date will have been April 15th. So the murder or theft couldn't have occurred the next night. It had to have been on the same day or something like that. And who was it who walked out of here with the wrong violin before? Well, when the agreed storage period has passed without repayment, articles are forfeited, you see. So I have to keep a close eye on the date. It's something of a pawnbroker's obsession, you might say.
Oh, yes, I can see you're very dedicated to your job.
Okay.
Emphasis on dead, dear lady.
Oh. Now, what do you suppose this rather enormous machine does?
Radio.
Is it a tiny television?
Oh.
Oh, is it one of those like
It-
little film things that you look through and it's like a moving picture thing?
Oh, maybe.
Is it one of those?
Oh. It seems to have two little windows for looking through.
Allow me to enlighten you, my dear fellows. What you are looking at is a stereoscope.
A stereo. Fascinating.
It is aptly named, I assure you. Look through the eyepieces and see for yourself.
Oh, I should be delighted to. Excuse me a moment while I just have a look.
Just before you do, there is something I should point out. My dear fellows, in order to see the image properly, stereoscopically as it were,
You will need to be cross-eyed. However, if that is beyond you, it is of little consequence today.
All right then, I'm going to try it. Ah! Mr. Naruhodo, you must see at once.
All
And
right
presumably
then.
he won't be able to do it.
I don't know. I have a feeling that they might have been used for kind of saucy pictures, I think.
Oh, really?
I think they were a bit of a gentleman's thing.
Oh.
There might have been some cheeky pictures. I think.
I don't know, because obviously the stereoscope will be something that allows you to see images in 3D. That's why they mean they're crossing the eyes, because it'll be two separate images, slightly different, taken slightly differently, and when you combine them, they look like a 3D image, and that'll be why she's so amazed.
I mean, she might just be like, oh wow, it's amazing. But I don't know. I seem to have a thing of like they were used for like saucy pictures, but I could be wrong.
You might be thinking,
as
I don't
well.
know, well, it could be. Might be something else though. Who knows?
So, I need to be cross-eyed like I'm trying to look at my own nose.
I am slightly sad that we didn't get a little image of them.
Oh no, it's not saucy.
Yeah.
What the?
And if you actually cross your eyes, it is a 3D image. Ever so slightly.
No, I'm trying to do it.
You're trying to do it, Taylor. It is.
No.
I can't do it. It won't do it.
It's hard because trying to focus on it is
Yeah.
tricky. But yeah, it is real. Why don't you try it?
I don't believe it. It's just a photographic print, but it seems like you could... no, but it seems like you could reach out and touch it.
Yes. The sense of depth is startling, is it not? Stereoscopes are one of London's many fads. They are often found in little stalls in the park, and people queue for hours to see them.
Why? Why are people meddling with such black magic?
It does make sense, Sarah, with you saying about them being used for cheeky things, because, like, I guess with it being a sort of little box, and people they can't see what you're looking at. Sort of, it could be sort of like, come into the back of the shop. I've got a stereoscope. You want to have a look? I'll have a little peek, a little cheeky look.
I could be wrong, unless I've just seen it on something.
Oh no, I mean, to be honest, it would absolutely not surprise me at all, because it's discreet, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
It is no magic, my dear madam. It is, well, far too complicated to explain at present. We shall save this lesson for another day, such as perhaps when we're in court and we'll have to explain some complicated stuff.
Oh.
I'm surprised that she doesn't just flip open her friggin' book. Mr. Naruhodo, it says right here that this is how stereoscopes work.
Look at this. What could this lovely big shiny box be?
That, my dear madam, is a music box. Surely you have such things in your own country.
Oh my! Yes, but I've certainly never seen one. Never seen one so large before.
Shall we have a listen? Shall we listen a while?
What a sublime sound. It's like the music of angels.
I've never heard anything like it before in my life.
This particular specimen is of the larger variety, commonly found in public houses and restaurants. There is a metal disc inside on which the notes to be played are recorded. Simply by replacing the disc with another, any music you care to imagine can be played.
My goodness! What a simply delightful machine!
Indeed. Though their popularity has waned recently with the development of the gramophone, of course.
Oh, sorry. Ha! Science and technology advance at such an overwhelming pace.
Yes. Anyway, perhaps we should be going...
Off we go to Baker Street!
to Backestret. Yes.
Oh, it's like right next door.
Yep. Well, I guess we must have overlooked it.
Look at all the different things in the window of this shop that we were just in.
Ah, that's Windybanks, the pawnbrokery.
Yes, we know.
We've just been there.
It looks much smarter than a pawnbroker's in Japan, doesn't it?
Yes, you're right. I find pawn shops at home rather inapproachable, personally.
It reminds me of tearfully parting with my favorite fountain pen. I felt so miserable.
What doesn't kill us makes us stronger, Mr. Naruhodo.
Okay. Is that it? There's not a,
No, right then.
Oh, I think that's it.
I guess this is gonna be. Oh, it's Mr. Sholmes' house.
It's already been 2 months since we started taking lodgings here above Mr. Sholmes' office. I still can't quite believe it. I never expected things would turn out like this.
Oh, I know! To actually be sharing accommodation with the world's greatest detective. If I ever find myself before a court of law now, I will have not one regret. No, don't turn into Maya. Don't turn into Maya.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'd be happy to defend you, of course, for whatever murder you'd become framed for.
Who said it?
3 times
Who
in a
said
row.
it would be murder?
Oh, nobody. I just have a feeling.
Okay, so is that?
Turnabout is fair play, after all.
Do we? Oh, the violin's gone.
Oh.
What do we do?
Was
What
there
do we
something
do?
in the pawn?
Oh, wow.
Fancy.
What do? We have to end the episode.
What? No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
Oh, look at that math equation.
Math, go away. Yes.
The little doggo.
Oh. Yes, unfortunately, viewers, it is time once again for us to bid you adieu.
Yeah, so sorry about that, guys. I guess we're going to have to leave it in like a sort of a weird predicament where we don't actually know what the heck we're doing.
Yeah, good
But
stuff.
if you like our random nonsense, then why don't you hit that like button, drop a comment down below, let us know what your favourite parts are, favourite characters, I don't know. Or just, like, if you want to just, like, say some stuff, say some
Anything,
stuff.
really.
It's all fun. We do try and look at them all, we do try and reply to them all, so, you know, that's always fun. And hit the subscribe button and ring the little bell so you get notified when our new videos go out. And with that, we'll see you in the next one.
See you later, guys.
And if you're going to pawn your violin, try to make sure that you don't grab a viola instead. Or a cello, because that would be incorrect.